Okay, so I have a confession to make.
Oh,
This morning, I really tried to do the right thing. I sat down, crossed my legs, closed my eyes, and I tried to follow that advice you see everywhere, on every wellness Instagram, every self-help book.
let me guess. Be here now.
Exactly. And it was a complete disaster. I wasn't here at all. I was mentally rewriting an email I sent yesterday, wondering if it was too aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was worrying about a dentist appointment I have next Tuesday. And this whole time, there's this little voice in my head just going, "You're failing. You aren't present. If you were actually enlightened, you wouldn't care about the dentist."
That is the modern predicament, isn't it? We have this huge cultural mantra from Eckhart Tolle all the way to the Calm app that says the present moment is the only thing that's actually, quote, real.
Right. The past is just memory. The future is just fantasy.
And if you're anxious, it's because you aren't focusing hard enough on the now.
Exactly. It's sold as this ultimate cure. Just slice away the past and future, and you'll find peace. But, sometimes it feels like you're just gaslighting yourself.
Well, you are going to love the deep dive we have lined up today.
I think I am.
We're looking at a really provocative essay by the writer and philosopher Pedro Malha, and it's titled, "The Now is Not Enough." And I'm warning you, he takes a sledgehammer to that exact idea that the present is some kind of clean slate where we can just hide from time.
The now is not enough. I already love that title. It feels validating. But okay, before we get into the critique, we should be fair. Malha isn't saying mindfulness is total trash, right? He's not telling us to, stop doing yoga.
No, not at all. He actually starts the essay by conceding that the whole concept of the now is incredibly seductive for a reason. It works.
It definitely works for short bursts. When I'm spiraling, just focusing on my breathing for a minute, that does help.
Right. Malha calls it a mechanism for immediate relief. Think about what anxiety actually is. It's a loop. It's your brain running all these simulations, opening 50 browser tabs at once.
Yeah.
The now acts like a circuit breaker. Malha says it reduces the movement of thought.
It stops the spinning.
Exactly. If you can convince yourself, even for just 5 minutes, that the past is dead and the future hasn't happened yet, you compress the infinite complexity of your life into
Into one manageable point.
one manageable point. It creates a sanctuary.
It's a reset button. It's like saying, I don't have to carry the weight of my entire career or my relationships right this second. I just have to carry this cup of tea.
Precisely. It strips your problems of their authority. But, and this is the huge but, Malha argues that we've mistaken a coping mechanism for a philosophy of reality.
Okay, so it's a tool, not the whole truth.
It's even deeper than that. He argues that this entire worldview, it rests on a fundamentally false assumption. It assumes that human experience comes in these neat, isolated packets, like a string of pearls, one moment, then the next, and that if you just cut the string, all the pearls are separate.
So snapshot A is the past, snapshot B is the future, snapshot C is now, and we're just told to look at snapshot C.
But experience doesn't arrive that way. Malha's main point is that you cannot sever that connection. If you try to treat the present as a clean slate, you're fundamentally misunderstanding what it even means to be human.
Okay, so let's break this down. He starts with the past. Now, in that power of now kind of thinking, the past is just a thought. It's a movie playing in your head.
And if you stop watching the movie, it goes away.
Right.
Malha disagrees vehemently. He argues the past is not just a memory, it's a physical embodied force. He has this line that I think frames the entire essay. You do not meet the present moment for the first time. You meet it through everything that has already happened.
You do not meet the present moment for the first time. Wow, that's actually kind of haunting. It implies there's no such thing as a virgin experience.
There isn't. And think about how we move through the world just biologically. We respond to situations before we have time to think about them. This isn't about, sitting in therapy and analyzing your childhood. This is about milliseconds.
You mean like instinct or something?
I mean like embodied history. Let's say you walk into a meeting room and there's a specific kind of heavy silence. Or you meet a stranger and they make a certain hand gesture.
Yeah.
You might instantly tense up. You might feel a sudden drop in your stomach. You didn't think about that. You didn't decide to remember some past trauma. Your body reacted before your conscious mind even got its shoes on.
Oh, totally. It's the gut feeling. Or when you instantly just trust someone and you have no idea why.
That is the past living in the present. Malha says the past is present in what feels possible and what does not, in what is approached and what is avoided. It's a filter. You aren't seeing the now clearly. You're seeing the now through the lens of everything you've survived.
So if I'm trying to be present in that meeting, but my body is stuck in some fight or flight mode because of a bad boss I had 5 years ago, telling me the past isn't real is actually kind of insulting.
It's invalidating. It suggests that if you were just spiritual enough, you wouldn't have that reaction. But Moha's whole point is that that reaction is the reality of the moment. You arrive shaped. That's the phrase he uses.
You arrive shaped.
You do not choose how you arrive in the present. You arrive shaped by what has already happened.
I love that image. It makes me think of, like, clay that's already been fired and kiln. You can't just squish it back into a ball and say, okay, start over. The form is set.
Exactly. And this filtering, it happens before awareness. So mindfulness tells us to be aware of the moment. But Malha is pointing out that the past has already colored the moment before you even became aware of it. It determines what you notice and what you just completely ignore.
It's like wearing tinted glasses that are fused to your face.
Yes. And if you pretend you aren't wearing them, you're just going to keep bumping into things.
Okay, so that's the past, kind of pushing us from behind. But I want to talk about the future, because this is where I really struggle. I am a chronic worrier. I live in next week. And usually people tell me that's my problem. I'm living in a fantasy world because the future hasn't happened yet.
And this is where Malha makes a really crucial distinction that I think will resonate with you. He notes an asymmetry here.
An asymmetry.
Yeah. The past is carried forward involuntarily, like those physical reactions we just talked about, but the future. The future is brought into the present through anticipation and decision. It's active.
But isn't that still just imagination?
He says no. He calls it an active orientation. The future exerts a physical, gravitational pull on the present moment. Think about it this way.
Yeah.
If you believe you're going to lose your job next month, how do you behave today?
I stop spending money. I probably start working later hours. I'm stressed at dinner. My whole body is tense.
Right. You prioritize, you postpone, you hesitate. All of those are physical actions happening now, but they are entirely dictated by something that has not happened yet. Malha says, what is anticipated changes how you move.
It's like, okay, imagine you're walking down a hallway and you know there's a big drop-off at the end. You're not falling yet. You're safe on the floor. But you walk completely differently than if you thought the hallway just went on forever.
That's a perfect analogy. The drop-off exists in your muscles before you ever reach it. The future is physically present in your current hesitation.
There was a part of the essay that really got to me on this, about anticipated loss. That felt very heavy.
Yes, that was the most poignant section for me, too. Malha writes, you do not wait for loss before it shapes how you live.
Ugh, that hits hard. It's the idea that we grieve things before they're even gone.
Think about visiting a parent who is aging, or maybe a friend who's moving far away. You're sitting there having coffee. Technically, in the now, everything is fine. You are just two people drinking coffee. There is no loss happening in that exact second.
But the coffee tastes different. The whole conversation feels different.
Exactly. The knowledge of the future, that impending absence, it changes the entire texture of the present. You might hold their hand a little tighter. Or on the flip side, you might pull away to protect yourself. Detach early.
I've definitely done that. Pulled the ripcord early so it doesn't hurt as much later on.
Malha points out that we hold back from what would distance us and move towards what will not always be there. Even though the loss hasn't happened, the knowledge of the loss is an active force in the room.
So if I told myself, stop worrying about it, the future isn't real, just enjoy the coffee,
Yeah.
I'm actually missing the entire point of the interaction.
You're stripping the interaction of its meaning. We're teleological creatures. We're driven by ends and goals. We don't just exist, we aim. To say the future is just fantasy ignores the fact that we are constantly adjusting our reality to fit what we believe is coming.
It feels like Mala is arguing against a kind of, I don't know, a lobotomy of time. Like if we cut off the past and the future, what's actually left?
That is the ultimate question. If the past is here in our automatic reactions and the future is here in our plans and our fears, then what even is the present?
It's getting very crowded in this now.
It is. And this brings us to Mala's core redefinition. He argues that the present is not a point on a timeline. It's not some clean, sterile space separate from time.
So what is it?
It is a convergence.
A convergence. That sounds active.
Of course.
Like a collision.
It is. It's where what has been meets what is coming. And this is why he critiques what he calls nowism, that strict adherence to the present. Because while it's technically accurate to say everything appears now, it's functionally wrong.
Functionally wrong how?
Because it removes the distinction that matters. Sure, your memory of the past is happening now. Sure, your fear of the future is happening now, but if you just lump them all together as thoughts arising in the present, you strip them of all their context.
Hmm.
You describe where they appear, but not where they come from or where they are taking you.
That's a huge distinction. It's the difference between seeing a car on the highway and just saying, there is a car,
Yeah,
versus knowing that car came from Detroit and it's driving to Miami.
exactly. If you ignore the origin and the destination, you don't really understand the car. You just see a hunk of metal. Malha writes, reducing both to the present moment does not describe how they function. If we treat the past only as a thought to be dismissed and the future only as a projection to be ignored, we invalidate our own lives. We invalidate why we're acting the way we are.
It's funny because when you frame it like that, as a convergence, it actually feels less stressful than trying to force myself to be present. Well, if I'm anxious about tomorrow and I tell myself, stop it, just be here, I feel like I'm failing at meditation. But if I
Yeah.
say, okay, this anxiety is the future acting on me right now, it feels, I don't know, it feels valid. It feels like I'm just acknowledging the convergence.
It validates the human experience of being a creature of time. We aren't goldfish. We span time. Mala says, you can be present in what has already happened and you can be present in what has not yet arrived. That is a much richer definition of presence.
It really is. It allows us to be whole.
And it's worth noting where this perspective comes from. Towards the end of the essay, Malha mentions he runs something called the Ghosts Movement.
The ghosts movement. That sounds incredibly intriguing. What is that?
It's a nonprofit grounded in lived experience dealing with trauma, grief, systemic issues, and that context really matters. When you're dealing with real, messy, lived experience, you realize pretty quickly that time isn't just confined to the now.
Right. You can't tell someone who's dealing with deep grief or deep trauma, just focus on this second, because this second is populated by everything that came before.
Exactly. Their now is haunted. And Mala's point is that we shouldn't try to exorcise the ghosts by pretending they aren't real. We have to learn to live with them. He admits the now is useful for calming the mind. It's a great tool for regulation. But as a philosophy for understanding our entire existence, it is, in his words, not enough.
The now is not enough. It's such a bold statement, but after digging into this, I feel like I really understand it. It's not a rejection of peace. It's an acceptance of complexity.
It is. It's an invitation to stop fighting the fact that we are shaped by our past and constantly moving toward a future.
So what does this mean for us, practically? For the listener who's maybe driving to work right now, replaying an argument from last night, and also worrying about a meeting in an hour?
I think it means you can stop trying to purify your experience. You don't have to scrub the past and future out of your consciousness to achieve some kind of perfect state. The moment is imperfect. It's crowded. It's shaped. And that is reality.
So you're not doing life wrong just because your mind is wandering through time.
Not at all. You're just experiencing the convergence.
That is genuinely relieving. It shifts the goal from control to understanding.
Exactly. Instead of trying to empty your mind, you try to understand what's filling it.
Before we wrap up, we always like to leave you with a final thought, a little provocation to take with you into your very crowded, very shaped now.
I've been thinking about this convergence idea. The next time you find yourself reacting really strongly to something small, I don't know, maybe a partner leaves a dish in the sink and you feel this surge of rage.
Okay, I know that feeling.
Instead of judging yourself for it, try asking a different question.
What's the question?
Ask, who is arriving in this moment? Is it the version of you from 5 years ago who felt totally ignored? And then ask, what future am I trying to protect? Are you afraid this one dish means the entire relationship is failing?
I love that. Instead of trying to silence the ghosts, you interview them.
Precisely. Find out why they showed up in the first place.
Well, thank you all for diving into the deep end of time with us today. A huge thanks to Pedro Malha's essay for sparking this whole conversation. It's definitely one that's going to stick with you.
Indeed, it changes how you look at the clock.
We will see you on the next deep dive. Until then, take care of your past, your future, and yes, your now.
Goodbye, everyone.